So my Nigerian people abroad, have you all registered for your BVN and BNV? No, it's a BVN, bank verification number. So that is to say, let the mouse in the house hear and tell the mouse in the farm. In case you've not heard, the Central Bank of Nigeria now requires all customers at home and abroad to register for their bank verification number. If you have a bank account in Nigeria, even if you don't live in Nigeria presently, this concerns you. You have to do it. This is supposed to ensure a unique identity for all bank customers and users of financial services in Nigeria. It's also supposed to prevent fraud and support innovative banking. Now, to do this, you must press your hand, you understand, as in biometrics, through your fingerprint, as a means of identification. A lot of people have expressed concern about this, saying that only security agencies should have access to your biometrics, that banks shouldn't be in custody of your fingerprints. And, let me know what you think about this, although I know that some banks are now starting to practice that here in the US as well, but I think that it's optional. Now people can log into their bank account online with their face or with their fingerprint. Anyway, so failure to register for this BVN in Nigeria means you would no longer have access to your account, including the money in it. You can't use the ATM. You can't even check your balance. The deadline was June 30th. I'm very sure that you guys saw pictures. It was crazy in Nigeria, and people wanted to get registered, especially that last week of June. I was pissed off when I saw some pictures of people. A lot of people would wake up at 4 a.m. and be in line for hours before the bank would even open, and then they would spend the whole day in the bank. Now, this is not to throw shades, but seriously, Nigerian banking system still has a long way to go. There is no reason for people to spend 1 hour in the bank. You don't have to spend 1 hour. I mean, it is not done anywhere else. 1 hour. Talk less of spending the whole day in the bank. There is God now. So there has to be a better way of doing this BVN thing, right? I was like, why didn't they just set up biometric centers in each city or town in Nigeria? That would have been better. And people should also be able to update their profiles on the internet without having to go to the bank and line up all day. Now, despite the rush, I was surprised to hear that only about 20 million people were successfully registered. I was like, what? So it was a relief when they extended the deadline to October 31st of this year. But even that October ending is not feasible. Like, seriously, because at least 32 million Nigerians are yet to register. 32 million. I've heard that we have only 52 million active bank accounts in Nigeria. So 32 million are yet to register. Now, the problem for those of us that are abroad is, I went on CBN's website and they said that we can do it for free if we go to any Nigerian bank that has branches in the country where we live. Khaled, do you know of any Nigerian bank here in the US, that has a branch here that you can walk into the bank and you don't? My people, if you know a Nigerian bank with branches in the US, please write it in the comments below so I can say you understand. Because the other option that CBN gave us is to go through a consultant company known as Online Integrated Solutions. This company is actually based in Dubai, but they happen to have branches in different parts of the world. And I like to thank a Keeping a Real viewer, Olabode Samuel, my brother, your Dafon. He sent me the link even before I went on CBN's website. First of all, this consultant company is not doing it for free. If you are in the UK and you want to do your BVN, you have to pay £30. If you are a Nigerian here in the US, you pay $45. If you live in Dubai, it's 180 dirham. And if you live in South Africa, it's 615 rands. In China, it's 300 renminbi. Now, I cannot blame this company for collecting money to do this. I mean, they are not a Nigerian bank, but I have some issues. I have a lot of problems with this arrangement. So, my dear, make sure that the governor of CBN is watching. Okay, he's watching. My guy, welcome. First of all, this consultant company that you want us to use only has 10 centers in the whole world. 3 in the US, 2 in UK, 1 in Dubai, 1 in South Africa, 3 in China. What happens to Nigerians that are not living in any of these countries? You want them to catch a flight to go to another country to press their hand, or you want them to fly back to Nigeria in order to press their hand? My brother, there is God now in everything that we are doing. Be considerate. In fact, why do we have to go through this particular consultant company? Is it possible that some Nigerian people have shares in this company? Because I don't understand. Charging me $45 to update my bank account information. Why now? That is hard-earned money. $45. Before you can make $45 in this America, do you know how much work work I have to do to make $45 in this America? You don't understand. Those people are able to make a lot of money off of Nigerians here in the diaspora. How could you let that happen? I found out that we have at least 270,000 Nigerians here in the US. So let's assume that at least 50,000 Nigerians here in the US still have bank accounts operating in Nigeria, because many of us do. So if they are collecting $45 from each one of us, that is already $2 million. $2 million. First of all, when I called the office in DC, they picked up and they said the office in Texas will open on Monday, October 5th. So those are the only two places that you can do this in. And this person confirmed that it is $45, and he said it would take 1 hour. Both of them are still far from some of us. Some people will have to fly before they can get to Houston, Texas. That means they have to take off a whole day at least. It just doesn't make sense. Who is going to take care of our accommodation? Who is taking care of the flight ticket? Who is taking care of food while we're trying to do this? How do you operate like that? Only Texas and Washington, D.C.? Are you sure that we don't have a Nigerian that is a shareholder of this company? For some people, it would even take them more than a day to sort this thing out. You are kidding me. CBN should be able to arrange for us to do this at Nigerian embassies in different parts of the world. The last time I checked, there are more than 60 Nigerian embassies all over the world. More than 60. Compare that to the 10 centers that this company has. There are more than 60 Nigerian embassies all over the world. And you should be able to arrange for us to register at the nearest embassy free of charge. In fact, those embassies should also arrange for satellite centers in other parts of the country where they are. And the deadline is October 31st. I'm waiting for somebody to tell me after October 31st that I, Adeola, cannot withdraw my money. Hey, these people, they want to say craziness. So, the summary of all this is that if you are a Nigerian and you are here to do your BVN, please try to do it on time. In my own case, I think I will just continue to advocate that they change how this thing is done, and that they will be reasonable with some of us that are not living in Washington, D.C. Don't do shakara like me. I don't really have any money in my account in Nigeria. So I don't have anything to lose. But if you can do it, try to do it. You guys know I don't know anything. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real.